Good morning, guys and girls. How are we? Welcome back to another episode of Leeds Trucking and a brand new week. So, in case you missed out what was going on last week, go back, take a look now. There'll be a link somewhere in the description or just above my head on the right or somewhere like that. Go and check out last week's episode if you missed it. A lot more going on in these episodes now. We're doing some farms, doing a lot of farms, and these are quite tight places, so they're really good for making good content. Anyway, so today, good morning. How are we doing? So we are now just after the bank holiday weekend. At the end of May, just about to head into June, and yeah, we are today we are going delivering some bricks that we collected on Friday over into Reading. Just a short trip. It's about 15 miles from where we're based at the moment, and it takes that time because where I'm going is just off the Basingstoke Road. We're actually going to Jewson's today, just off the Basingstoke Road, and sorry, someone not willing to give way. Yeah, just off the Basingstoke Road, and to get there, unfortunately, we have to go on the M4, because if we go along the A4, which is where we're next to, it brings you up to Cemetery Junction, and I'm not going through Reading around that area. If you know Reading, it'll be hell. So there's no need to go around to Cemetery Junction that way. So what we're going to do, we're going to toddle on down the 404 for 1 mile, jump on the M4, come off on Junction 11, which is the 33, hit the Basingstoke Road and just nip into Jewson's. But today is a little bit different. We've started, we put our tackle in at 20 past 6, got to the yard nice and early. Reason being is, when I loaded on Friday, I made a quick call to Jewson's just to say, hey guys, I'm coming on Tuesday morning, you know, what sort of time? And the response was, oh, don't be coming in here till 9 o'clock, you won't get in, mate. How do you mean? He said, well, you'll get in, he said, but you won't be seen to. I was like, okay, that's not a problem. I said, I'll turn up a bit later than normal. Well, what time was you going to get here? And I said, well, 7. No. He says, don't come at 7. He says, you'll be parked outside. He said, you'll be causing mayhem. I said, all right, fair enough. What time? He said, oh, 9 o'clock. And I was like, well, I'm not starting at 8. So I'm being a bit cheeky. I started at 20 past 6. As I say, I spent 30 minutes doing a few bits at the yard this morning, sorting my truck out, getting my window polish out, that sort of stuff. And I've decided I'm going to make my way down there and have a look at the situation for delivery. I'm going to take a little chance, a little punt, and because I'm there and I'm going to be maybe a little bit in the way, they might just think, you know what, let's get him unloaded and get him the hell out of it. That's my plan. So I will update you to see how well my plan works or doesn't work. All right, so we have now just delivered Jewson's in Reading. They weren't best pleased. I got there and they actually said to me, we don't normally tip until 10 AM for anything other than their vehicles. And I was like, okay, well, I'm really sorry about that. He didn't say it on the gate. I drove in, I parked in the loading bay, and they were, to be fair, they were pretty cool with it. They weren't arsey. They just said, in future, mate, unfortunately, 10 o'clock is the time that we'll tip. So ignorance will be bliss in the future, and we will still go there before 10 o'clock. Right, so just want to have a little chat about what I'm doing next, really. So we're now in Reading. We are just leaving Reading. We are heading down the A33. We're off to Basingstoke to Sainsbury's. We pick up empty brown pallets from there and we take them to food parks, garden centres, things like that. So we are heading to Sainsbury's in Basingstoke to collect a full load of pallets for none other than the same area and the same estate, Nature's Food, where we're based in Chichester. Right guys, you join me now just leaving Sainsbury's Basingstoke. I wasn't going to do a video coming out, but I'm going to, because I tell you what, they could be a right job's worth, some of these people. So I've gone to the usual place we normally go to, and there was a gentleman there, and I turned around and I said to him, oh, hey, you know what I'm coming for, same as I always say, and he went, you need to go somewhere else. But he said it's so rude, and I went, okay, no problem. I said, any chance you could not be rude when you tell me that, please? He must have been doing something on his computer, and he was just so rude to me with an arrogance as well. So he said, I'm not being rude, you've come to the wrong place. And I went, right, I understand that. I said, but I didn't know that, because we always come here. And he's like, every driver says you always go somewhere when you don't. I said, so now you're calling me a liar? And he said to me, go away, go to where I've said. So I turned around and I said, no, don't you dare talk to me like that. I says, that is absolutely disgraceful. I said, the fact that you've spoken to a customer like that, you're not a customer, and he interrupted me, you're not a customer, you're a driver. I went, well, that's even worse, mate. So now you're categorising me into you know, a minimal sort of person. I said, that's absolutely disgusting. So yeah, I got the arse with him. So then I went on to where I'm supposed to go. That ended abruptly, that conversation with the security guard. So I then went where I'm supposed to go. And when I got there, the gentleman said, where's your paperwork, mate? And I went, oh, I haven't got any. I've been told it's been forwarded over to you guys. Oh, does that mean we've got to print it, have we? And I was like, sorry? And I went, excuse me. I said, have I walked into like the haunted house or something? I said, everybody's got something wrong with them today. What do you mean there's nothing wrong with me? He said, you drivers coming in here, getting your not getting your paperwork, expect us to print it, use our paper. I said, mate, I'm not being horrible. Not my problem. I said, if it worries you that much, why don't you charge people? Charge these other companies for not sending you the right paperwork, or so you've got to print it. I said, that's nothing to do with me, mate. I've given you a reference number. I'm here, I'm nice, I'm polite. Can you please tell me where I need to go? You need to sit in here and wait, and I'll tell you when you're going. Right, okay. Just bear me a minute. So a few minutes later he came and he went, go and park up behind him, open your curtains and just wait. All right. So here we are, waiting. The joys of waiting. So I waited, got loaded, and we're now leaving. As you can see, trying to get out the exit if I can. This happened last time and I was here for ages, just a pain in the arse. Anyway, I'll talk to you soon. Little rant is over. Ciao for now. Oh, going to the services. Oh well, I've got to pull in here for a break. So I've got 50 minutes until I'm due my 15, so we're going to take that now. So I thought I'm going to pop in here. I've got to do a little bit of shopping so I can put some stuff in my freezer and my fridge, and why not, let's pop into Greg's and get ourselves just a little sticky snackaroony, just for the morning or for the day, whatever. Let's go to Greg's, that's all I'm saying. Probably going to be parked a mile away, aren't we? The other side isn't too bad. Right, let's get in here. Are we busy? It doesn't seem to be overly busy. Oh my god, am I going to get in here? I mean, there's one there I could try and get into, but I don't really want it. Is this one here? There is one here. Let's see if we can get in here. I don't think we're going to. collected the pallets and we're heading on into Nature's Way Rumpton Depot, which is pretty much Chichester. It's where our base is. If you've seen my videos before, then you know where I am right now. Just at the roundabout before turning into Churchill's Yard, which you will see. So we're going into Chichester Food Park and following it all the way down to the end to Nature's Way Rumpton. So the first turning on the right, Rumpton, Merston and Drayton, so I need Rumpton. So this turning here on the right is our yard, and we are heading on past that, and hopefully going to get into the right place, because there's several places. And look at the weather, and this is British summertime, people. British summertime, and look at it. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Still, welcome to England and all that. Great place to park your trailers here though. Night out there. Have a little break. Yeah. So I'm just wondering if this is the same. I came here last week or the week before, but I don't think I came to this Rumpton. I think it was the Drayton bit, Drayston, or whatever it is. Yeah, the one I went to last week down there was pretty tight when it comes to doing the delivery. It was quite a tight little area. It was annoying actually. Right, this is all new to me, this bit, so so is this a weighbridge? No, it isn't, just different coloured. Got the old lorry there. There we go. Rumpton. Now, because we're only delivering pallets, we don't need loading bays and things like that. So I need to find where the stack of pallets are. Car park, reception, raw goods, dispatch good, all other deliveries. These are probably thinking, oh, he's jumping the queue. I can see the pallets right down the end, and I can also see pallets here. They're all freaking out, he's pushing in, when I'm not really pushing in. I need to go and find out where I park. Oh, he's spinning it there, is he? He's a brave boy. You're a brave boy. Stop recording. Alright guys, so we're just leaving Southampton. Funny enough, the football ground there on the right, St Mary's. Yeah, we're just loaded in Southampton. And now we are heading for a 8 AM delivery tomorrow into Letchworth. And then I think we're tipping in Letchworth, hopefully as near as 8 o'clock in the morning as possible, and then we're heading over to Norfolk for a collection, Walsingham I believe it's called. So yeah, we're going to head there and do that in the morning, but to now we're not going to get very far. So what is the time now? 25 to 6 on, and pretty much everywhere you go is going to be busy. So I'm going to get to the service station. I'm hoping to get to Fleet services tonight. If I can get into Fleet services tonight, good one. If I can't get into Fleet tonight, I'm snookered. So it's fleet or nothing really. I mean, I can go on an industrial estate. I'm you know, other than having a toilet with me, I'm all good. But I'd rather go where there's services for facilities, sorry, for, you know, having a shower, that sort of stuff. It's just what I like. But we'll see. We'll see. So I'm hoping. Sorry guys, some people just haven't got a clue. Right, as I was saying, we are just coming through Southampton. Never been through Southampton on the video. I have loads, but never videoed it. So road ahead, Southampton, enjoy.